Hey there, English learners. Welcome back to English with Cheri. I'm Cheri, and
And I'm Nick. Great to be here again.
so today we're talking about something that, well, let's be honest, makes most people a little nervous.
The dentist.
Exactly, going to the dentist. And you know what? If going to the dentist in your own language feels scary, imagine doing it in English.
Right, that's actually terrifying.
But don't worry, we're here to help you feel more confident. By the end of today's episode, you'll know exactly what to say at the dentist's office.
Yeah, and we'll keep it simple. This is perfect for A1 and A2 level learners.
So, Nick, when was the last time you went to the dentist?
Wow, well, let me think. It was about 6 months ago for a cleaning, the regular checkup.
Good for you. See, that's a perfect example right there. Cleaning and checkup, these are super important words.
Exactly.
A cleaning is when they clean your teeth, and a checkup is when the dentist looks at your teeth to make sure everything's okay.
Right, and most people go every 6 months. That's pretty normal.
So let's start with making an appointment. This is usually the first thing you need to do. Nick, what would you say if you called a dentist's office?
Well, I'd probably say something like, "Hi, I'd like to make an appointment for a cleaning, please."
Perfect. That's exactly right. I'd like to make an appointment. This is so useful.
Yeah.
Now, they might ask you some questions, like, are you a new patient? This means, is this your first time coming to our office?
Right, and you can say, "Yes, I'm a new patient," or "No, I've been here before."
Exactly. Okay, so let's practice a real phone conversation. I'll be the receptionist, and Nick, you be the patient. Ready?
Sure, let's do it.
Good morning, Smile Dental. How can I help you?
Hi, I'd like to make an appointment for a cleaning, please.
Of course. Are you a new patient?
Yes, I'm a new patient.
Great. What's your name, please?
My name is Nick Johnson.
Perfect. I have an opening next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Does that work for you?
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you.
Great. See you Tuesday at 2 p.m.
Nice, that was easy.
See, it really is. And listeners, did you notice some key phrases there? Does that work for you? Means, is that time good for you?
Yeah, and you can say, "Yes, that works," or "That's perfect," or "What if the time doesn't work for you?"
Good question. You can say, sorry, I can't make it at that time. Or do you have anything earlier? Or what about later in the day?
Right, those are really helpful.
Okay, so now you have your appointment. Let's talk about what happens when you get to the office. First, you'll probably need to fill out some forms.
Oh, yeah, paperwork. Always paperwork.
Exactly. They'll ask you for your personal information, your medical history, and about your teeth. Don't worry though, the receptionist can help you if you don't understand something.
Yeah, you can just say, "Excuse me, I don't understand this question," or "Can you help me with this?"
Perfect. Now, let's talk about what happens during your appointment. The dental hygienist might take you to the chair first.
The dental hygienist? That's the person who cleans your teeth, right?
Exactly. They're like the dentist's assistant, and they do the cleaning. So they might say something like, please have a seat, or make yourself comfortable. And then they'll probably ask you some questions, like, when was your last cleaning? Or do you have any pain or problems with your teeth?
Those are important questions. And you know what? If you do have pain, you definitely want to tell them about it.
Absolutely. You can say, my tooth hurts, or I have some pain here, and point to the tooth. Or you can say, everything feels fine.
Right.
Now, during the cleaning, they might give you instructions, like open wide. This means open your mouth as much as you can.
Yeah. Or turn your head to the left or to the right.
Exactly. And they might say rinse and spit. This means put some water in your mouth, move it around, and then spit it out into that little sink.
That little think. We call that a basin, right?
Good point. Yes, it's a basin. And here's something important. If something hurts or feels uncomfortable, you can raise your hand. That's like a signal that means, please stop.
That's really good to know. I mean, you don't want to suffer in silence.
Exactly. After the cleaning, you'll probably see the dentist. They'll examine your teeth and might say things like, everything looks good, or you have excellent oral health.
Oral health. That just means the health of your mouth and teeth.
Right. Now, sometimes the dentist might find a problem. They might say you have a cavity. That's a small hole in your tooth.
Nobody wants to hear that.
I know, but don't panic. They can fix it with a filling. That's when they fill the hole with a special material to protect your tooth.
Right. And you might ask, will it hurt? That's a normal question to ask.
Absolutely. And they'll probably say, we'll use some numbing medicine, or you'll just feel a little pressure. They want to make sure you're comfortable.
That's reassuring.
Now, let's talk about paying and scheduling your next visit. At the end of your appointment, you'll go to the front desk to pay.
Yeah, they might ask, how would you like to pay? And you can say, credit card, please, or I'll pay with cash.
Perfect. And they'll probably ask, would you like to schedule your next cleaning? Remember, most people go every 6 months.
Right. So you can say, yes, please, or I'll call you later to schedule.
Exactly. Now, before we wrap up, let's quickly review some important dental vocabulary. Cavity, a hole in your tooth.
Killing, how they fix a cavity.
Cleaning, when they clean your teeth.
Checkup, when the dentist examines your teeth.
Oral health, the health of your mouth and teeth.
And dental hygienist, the person who cleans your teeth.
Great. And here are some useful phrases to remember. I'd like to make an appointment. My tooth hurts. Everything feels fine. And will it hurt?
Those are really practical. And you know what? The most important thing is, don't be afraid to ask questions if you don't understand something.
Absolutely. Most dental professionals are very patient and understanding. They want you to feel comfortable and understand what's happening.
Exactly. Now, there's another important topic we should cover, something that many people worry about when visiting the dentist.
What's that, Nick?
Dental anxiety. You know, that nervous feeling people get about going to the dentist. I think our listeners might want to know how to talk about that in English.
You're absolutely right. That's such an important topic. Many people feel nervous about dental visits, and it's perfectly normal to tell your dentist about it.
Right. So you might say something like, I'm a little nervous, or I don't really like going to the dentist. Being honest about it can actually help.
Exactly. And if you're really scared, you can say, I have dental anxiety, or I'm very nervous about dental procedures. The dentist and hygienist will understand and they'll try to help you feel more comfortable.
Yeah, they might say things like, don't worry, we'll go slowly, or let me know if you need a break, or we can stop anytime you feel uncomfortable.
That's so helpful. Now, let's talk about some common dental problems and how to describe them, because sometimes you might need to explain what's bothering you.
Right. So if you have a toothache, you can say, I have a toothache, or my tooth is aching. You can also say, I have tooth pain.
And you can be more specific too, like, my tooth is throbbing. That means it's a steady, pulsing pain. Or, I have a sharp pain when I bite down. Or, it hurts when I drink something cold.
Those are really useful. What about other problems? Like if your gums are bleeding, you can say, my gums are bleeding, or my gums bleed when I brush my teeth.
Exactly. And if your teeth feel loose, you can say, my tooth feels loose. Or if you have swelling, my gum is swollen, or I have swelling in my mouth.
And what about sensitive teeth? That's really common. You can say, my teeth are sensitive, or I have sensitive teeth. Especially, my teeth are sensitive to hot and cold.
Great. Now, let's talk about questions you might want to ask your dentist. It's important to understand what's happening and what you need to do.
Right. So you might ask, how often should I brush my teeth? Or what kind of toothbrush should I use? These are basic but important questions.
Absolutely. You can also ask, do I need any treatment? Or how can I prevent cavities? Or should I use mouthwash? And if you need work done, how much will this cost?
Those are all really practical. And you might ask, when should I come back? Or what should I do after this treatment? Or are there any foods I should avoid?
Perfect. Now, let's talk about something hopefully you'll never need, but it's good to know these phrases just in case.
Yeah, that's smart. So if you have a dental emergency, you might say, I have a dental emergency, or I need to see a dentist right away. For example, if you break a tooth, I broke my tooth.
Right. Or I knocked out my tooth. That means your tooth came completely out. You might also say, I have severe tooth pain, or my face is swollen.
And when you call for an emergency, they might ask what happened. And you can explain briefly, like, I was eating and I bit down on something hard, or I fell and hit my mouth.
Excellent. Now let's do a quick role play to practice talking about dental problems. I'll be the dentist, and Nick, you be a patient with sensitive teeth.
Okay, sounds good.
Hi there. What brings you in today?
Hi, doctor. I have sensitive teeth. They really hurt when I drink something cold or hot.
I see. How long have you had this problem? Is it all of your teeth or just some of them?
It's been about 2 weeks. It's mostly my back teeth on the left side. The pain is really sharp when I drink something cold.
Okay, I understand. Tooth sensitivity is very common. Let me take a look and see what's causing it. We have some treatments that can help reduce the sensitivity.
That's good to hear. Is there anything I can do at home to help with the pain?
Yes, definitely. Use a toothpaste for sensitive teeth and try to avoid very hot or cold drinks for now. I'll also show you some special techniques for brushing.
Perfect. Thank you, doctor.
Great job. See how natural that was? When you can describe your problem clearly, it really helps the dentist understand what's wrong.
Yeah, and notice some useful phrases there. What brings you in today? That's how doctors often start. And how long have you had this problem? That's a very common question.
Exactly. Now, before we really finish today, let's quickly review all the new vocabulary we covered in this extended section.
Dental anxiety, that nervous feeling about going to the dentist. Toothache, when your tooth hurts. Sensitive teeth, when hot or cold things cause pain.
Throbbing, a steady, pulsing pain. Gums are bleeding when your gums have blood. Swollen, when something is bigger than normal because of inflammation.
And for emergencies, I broke my tooth. I knocked out my tooth. And I have a dental emergency. These are really important to know.
Excellent! You know, having all these phrases and vocabulary will really help you communicate confidently at the dentist's office. The most important thing is to speak up and ask questions.
Absolutely. Remember, dentists and dental hygienists are there to help you. Don't be afraid to say, I don't understand, or can you explain that again? They want you to feel comfortable and informed.
Perfect way to end our extended episode. So now you're really prepared for any dental visit in English.
Absolutely. Thanks for sticking with us for this longer episode. Until next time, keep learning and stay healthy.
That's right. We hope this comprehensive guide to dental visits in English has given you the confidence you need. Remember, practice these conversations and vocabulary, and don't be afraid to ask questions when you're at the dentist.
Exactly. And remember, most dental professionals are very understanding and patient with non-native English speakers. They want to help you feel comfortable.
Thanks for joining us today for this special extended episode of English with Cheri. I'm Cheri.
And I'm Nick.
We'll see you next time for more practical English lessons. Until then, keep practicing your English and don't forget to take good care of your teeth.
See you next time, everyone.